Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today to talk to you folks about Redpanda Serverless and one of our brand new features that we're working on in the lab right now. My name is Towfiqa Yasmeen. I'm the product lead for Redpanda Serverless here at Redpanda Data, and I'm joined by my colleague, Chris. So we're going to do a couple of things today. I'm going to quickly go over what Redpanda Serverless is all about, and then we're going to see a demo by Chris on how we can use AWS PrivateLink with your Redpanda Serverless cluster. So let's dive in. When we created Redpanda Serverless, we really wanted to have three main principles. The first is we wanted it to be easy and simple. So we made sure that it's fully managed. That means upgrades, your disaster recovery, compliance, all of that is included in the price of your service. We also made sure that it has zero infrastructure management for you or for your teams. This means you get elastic scaling. All of the scaling up and down of your clusters is handled by our expert team of SREs. We also provide you with an uptime guarantee. Our SLA today is 3 nines. And this is really important for all those businesses running critical applications on our service. And of course, we make sure that you can get started as quickly as possible. We provide you with a UI, a CLI, an API, and even Terraform. So no matter which one feels familiar to you, you can get up and running quickly. And finally, we give you the ability to pay $0 when your cluster is not in use. Simply delete all your partitions, and if you are not running any ingress or egress traffic on your cluster, you pay exactly $0, which really helps me talk about our cost effectiveness. Not only do we have the lowest price in the market compared to our competitors, we allow you to do pay-as-you-go, usage-based billing with a credit card. You swipe and just start using. And if you want to just try the software, no credit card is required for the use of the trial. Now, this is something that our competitors will not provide you. So go ahead, try out Redpanda Serverless, and then when you're ready, swipe that credit card for continued usage. And finally, and this is the really important one to me that's near and dear to my heart, is we wanted to make sure that you have one single product for all of your needs. What some of our competitors have been doing is requiring you to have different products where you're sort of upgrading up through different levels. So that requires you to know a lot of things. You need to know what kind of throughput you have, what kind of SLA do you need, what even kind of networking do you need to have before you can even create your cluster. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure that you can get started quickly and then grow as you need. So the idea is come and get your cluster started, use public networking over the public internet just to get started. And then when you're ready, add on the extended features. We have this already today with our Redpanda Connect. You're able to connect any sources and sinks using Redpanda Connect and pay the additional fees. And now we also have the ability to access AWS PrivateLink with your Redpanda Serverless cluster. Now, this is brand new, off the cutting floor. We're working on it in the labs as we speak. And I would love to talk to you a little bit more about that. So why go AWS PrivateLink? Well, of course, it strengthens your security posture because you want to eliminate that exposure to the public internet. You see Redpanda Cloud as a native endpoint inside your VPC, and you avoid that internet congestion and unpredictable routing paths. And finally, you get to keep your traffic in your provider's network, which helps you reduce or even avoid egress costs through a NAT gateway. So it's more secure and it's going to cost you less. I'm now going to pass it on to my colleague, Chris. He comes to us with 10 years of experience, and he's one of these most senior engineers on the serverless team. And I'm really excited for him to show you what we've been able to do with AWS PrivateLink on Redpanda Serverless. Take it away, Chris.
Thanks, Towfiqa. So like she said, I'm a software engineer on the serverless team, and I specifically work on networking. And today I get to present to you the AWS PrivateLink implementation that we have for serverless. So if you don't know AWS PrivateLink, it's a unidirectional connection from your VPC to our VPC using a private link. It goes over the backbone of the internet. It doesn't use the public internet. And so you avoid NAT gateway costs and all the other pieces that are quite expensive. So like it shows here, this is your VPC and this is our VPC. So I'm going to jump into that implementation and show you how that works. So inside our UI, you can go ahead and create a cluster. And so we jump into creating our serverless cluster. And now the new section here we have is network configuration. And you have the ability to use either public access or private access. And you can use an existing private link, which we're going to do, one of the ones I created earlier, or you can create your own private link. You have the ability to change the name of the private link and then add in any allowed principal that you want to connect to this VPC endpoint. So this might be a user on your other account. It might be consumers on other teams who have their own accounts that want to be able to connect to it. So let's go ahead and use the one we've already created. And right away, our cluster is available. But we want to add some metadata because it's kind of hard to demo anything if we just connect without any actual metadata. So let's jump into our topics. And this is over the public internet, but we're going to go ahead and create some topics right now and some metadata within that topic. So that's topic, and then we're going to go ahead and produce a record. Go ahead and produce that. We're going to grab a schema registry, and we're just going to throw it in there so we have something to pull from. So we're going to create a new schema. Go ahead and save that. And let's add another user too, just for the sake of being able to see that we can manage everything within a private network if we want to. Okay. Now going back to the overview, like we said, this is publicly available, but it's also privately available. So you have two connection types. Now you might be asking, well, I want to turn that on for my existing cluster eventually. So we do provide that in your cluster settings. You can jump in and you can change public access. You could revoke public access. You could add private access or revoke it however you like. But now that we have the cluster set up the way we want, we're going to go ahead and grab the VPC endpoint service name. And then we're going to go full screen to our terminal. And in our terminal, we're going to go ahead and change some variables. Reference our new private service name that we've created. And we're just going to apply that. At the same time, since it is publicly available, we're going to log into it publicly on another terminal in my system. So let's go ahead and do RPK Cloud login. And this is going to open the browser on my other monitor. And then we'll go ahead and click OK. And this should log us in now. Try that again. There we go. Okay, so let's change to our new cluster that we created, Purple Forest Koala. Clear that up, and we can say cluster info. So this is over the public internet, able to connect to the cluster. And we can see our foobar topic that we added. We can take a look at our schema registry. There's the schema we added, and there should be a RPK security user list, the user that we created as well. Great. Now, that's all over the public internet. But now we're going to wait for the Terraform here. Once it's finished, we're going to jump in, and we're going to go ahead and access it all privately. All right, so now it's available. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, now let's do the same thing. Now we don't have a browser, so we're going to do RPK Cloud login, and we're going to specify no browser. I'm just going to exit this tab. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the same cluster that we were joining. And now it's going to prompt us, would you like to use public networking or private networking? So we're going to choose private. And we're going to go ahead and say, we can see here we have an address. So let's go ahead and take a look at that address. Before we actually send the request, we'll take a look at where it's directing us. And this is going to be the private address of our private link. So let's go ahead and say cluster info. And you can see we're able to connect. We can see foobar. And if we say RPK topic consume foobar, we'll get our message that we sent earlier. We can also take a look at the schema registry. You can see the user as well. All of this is going over private internet connections and not going through the public connections at all. And that is our demo for private connectivity.
Wow, Chris, that was amazing. Thank you for showing us that your Redpanda cluster can be both public and private. Our competitors don't allow that. They make you choose between public or private, and our clusters have the ability to be both. Not only that, you're actually able to add the capability of public or private to your cluster, your Redpanda cluster at any time. Whereas our competitors make you go through an upgrade or a migration for that capability. So it just goes to show how hard we've been working here at Redpanda to make sure that the solutions we provide you make sense for you and your team. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Chris, for that amazing demo. Please go ahead and try Redpanda Serverless out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. And thank you for joining. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks.